Aye, Shepherd's Pie. Greetings from the Philippines. Welcome back to the channel for another interview with my good friend Tim. Now, anyone who has watched the channel for a while will know I have interviewed Tim before, 8 months ago. But for anyone who hasn't seen that video, I will put a link in the description. But Tim's a good friend of mine now. He's an American. He comes from New York originally, and he had spent some time in Subic Bay in his naval days, where he had met his Filipino wife of 34 years now. And when I interviewed him, I think it was probably March, he had only just arrived in the Philippines, but he had sold up everything and taken the big leap to come and move over here. And he's now living in Bacong, which is just outside Dumaguete. So I thought it would be interesting to interview Tim. It's about 8 months on now, and see how things are going, whether he's in love with the Philippines, what has been the challenges or not, or did he make a mistake? All those good things. You get the picture. Just to see how, what his impressions are 8 months on. So first of all, Tim, thank you very much for sitting down with us again. It's very much appreciated. Yeah, so 8 months on, what has changed in your life?
Well, you adapt. Some things that were a struggle before aren't a struggle anymore. You know where to go. You know the streets. You know how to get around, and it's some things are easier. Some things are, because they aren't new anymore, they're not as exciting as they were. But there's a lot of things to do, but there's still, you have a hard time doing things sometimes too. So it's kind of.
This is going to be an incredibly quick interview. I think we're finished now. No. So what has been the challenges? What have been the challenging things about living here?
Challenges, getting your 13A, doing all the paperwork you need to allow you to do other things. And transportation is always, getting around on your bike's always a little dangerous, takes a while to learn the ways of the Philippine driver.
Well, you had an accident recently. Is that the only accident you've had, or have you had more than one?
I wiped out on my bike about 2 months ago. That was just construction dirt. I really wasn't paying attention. Hit the gas and wiped the bike out. But that wasn't going at low speed, so just scraped up my leg a little. First accident was back in February or March, maybe. Had a pedestrian, drunk pedestrian across Diversion Road. If you guys don't know what Diversion Road is, it's basically the bypass around the city. So you can go a little bit faster around there, but it's dark. Couldn't see him at all. He's wearing dark clothes at night. Walked across the street drunk. I missed him with a bike, caught him with my shoulder, but I had to bring him I brought him to the hospital, paid for everything. It was about 11,000 pesos altogether.
Did you have to pay for everything, or were you doing it out of the kind?
I was doing I didn't have to, but he actually didn't want to go, but his wife wanted him to go. Because his wife wanted him to go, I said, we'll just bring him. And we did. I think it was probably a wise decision, because the police there had him write off on the accident, and he was satisfied with the outcome. And that way I didn't have to worry about it later. So for basically $200, I had nothing hanging over my head. So I thought it was a smarter way to go. But I mean, you can fight anything, but why?
So in terms of the 13A, you used a visa agent, didn't you?
Yes, JRC. They're very good.
So you say it was challenging. Would it have been very challenging, you think, if you hadn't used a visa agent?
I think so, because I'm not very paperwork oriented. Probably a lot of people aren't, especially older people. They do the ins and outs. I mean, the only pain is you gotta go over to Cebu, get the interview, and you spend the money. We went over the boat, spent a few days in the city, and they asked me 4 questions, and I was done.
Who was the interview with?
What's that?
Who was the interview with?
Oh, the immigration over. It's at the I think they call it the G Mall.
Right.
And they have an immigration office in there. And you basically, GRC has somebody meet you there.
Yeah.
And they help get you in to the interviewer, which I think gets you in faster probably too.
Why did you? This is a bit I don't understand, because when I inquired about doing it, they said I could do it online in Dumagetti, but I think it was with a mayor or someone, but I didn't have to go in person.
I think because we were already married, but we don't have a marriage certificate here. So even though, say you got married in the U.S.,
yeah,
that counts for nothing.
So
over
you were
here.
going for the married one, okay?
So you basically
military one, okay, fine.
Almost remarrying in a way, paperwork wise.
Okay.
So,
right. What else has been challenging?
I got a new bike. I think that really helps in the safety issue. To be honest with you, the 160 ADV just feels more stable,
yeah.
Better traction, better acceleration. It's just the ride is so much better over the bumps. It's just actually been I think a big safety improvement.
So you're not having more accidents?
Yeah, traction was an issue.
Speed might have been as well. I've seen him drive.
Yeah, I drive a little fast sometimes. I've slowed down a lot at night, but during the daytime, you can see things happening. I see things happening before they happen now, more than I did when I first got here. So
you've got to be alert. You've got to drive.
Yeah, you pretty much expect truck drivers to do a U-turn without looking in the middle of the road. And stupid things that you would think nobody would ever do, but they do it. Take a right turn from the left-hand lane, left turn from the right-hand lane. It makes no sense. But
so 13A was a bit challenging. The driving on the road has been a bit challenging. Any other problems or anything else that has been more difficult than you anticipated?
No, I mean, when you come from working every day to being retired and just finding things to do every day can be challenging. We're lucky we live next to the ocean, so we go snorkeling almost every day, depending on how bad the surf is. But you go snorkeling, we have a pool, we have there's a lot of things. I mean, we got our cats now. We got some cats to keep us busy, but
a lot of cats.
A lot of cats. Unfortunately, we had 3, but unfortunately, one was pregnant. So now we have 8. So we got
counting.
And counting. Hopefully not counting. But
are you looking for homes for them?
Yes, we will be for the new ones.
Okay, so if you're in the Dumagetti area and you fancy taking on a kitten, let me know in the comments and I'll pass it on to Tim.
Yeah, we'll have them make sure they're all shots are done, they're spayed or neutered or whichever case may be, and they'll be ready if you want them.
Okay. So what has been better than you expected? What has been, you've had a few challenging things. Has anything been a lot smoother than you thought it would be?
Smoother. That's a good question. I think getting around was easier than I thought it was going to be. Even though the traffic's what it is, in my mind, it was almost undrivable when I first got here.
But now you're used to it.
I'm just so used to it, yeah. So
it doesn't take long.
I expected it to be better just because of the costs. I mean, and even when you first got here, it's like, yeah, it's a lot better, but you don't realize how much better it is. So I went back to the U.S. I went to visit for a month or 6 weeks. And I'm like, sticker shock hit me like a hammer. I was like, I spent like $7,000 in 6 weeks. I'm like,
right.
This is insane. So when I got back here, it was such a relief.
You don't have to answer this. But what are you spending a month now, do you find? I mean, on average, is it half the price of the America or more than half the price? Or?
Well, it breaks down to necessities and not necessities, right? Necessity-wise, we're probably spending about $1,200.
US.
Yeah. Because we got a more expensive. We got a villa. It's $33,000. I mean, you could go get a $20,000 if you wanted to, right? Yeah. And I spent a lot of money on bikes and we go out a lot, and, so money we don't have to spend, but we do.
But but going out's a lot cheaper here. I mean, so compared to America, you'd be spending a lot more on that, I imagine, if you were.
Oh, definitely. We wouldn't be going anywhere. See, that's the thing. Um, you don't realize how much you've done here. But in 9 months, I've done probably what I would do in 5 years. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah.
See,
As far as going to the falls, going to Siggihor, going to Cebu. Been to Cebu twice. Been, going to Poe Island. These are vacations you plan on ahead of time, and you get to spend a week, and you go home and you get back to work, right?
if you're in the States, yeah.
If you're in the States, I mean, this is something you might do twice a year,
Yeah, no, I hear you.
So,
see, I'm surprised because I thought you were going to say this about, trying to fill your days because when I interviewed you for a short in Sideways a few months ago, you said, what's one of the biggest things? You said finding gaps to fill your time.
right.
But you're an active guy. You're always doing stuff. That's what I'm surprised by because you're doing the quiz a couple of nights a week and I know you like a game of poker. You've got like little schools going and you always go in here to other islands and that, and you're doing your scuba, your snorkeling and that, most days. I was quite surprised you said that because I know
Well, it's because I think I used to work a lot of hours. So my time filled in the U.S. was working a lot.
Right.
I drive. If I drove horse around, it could be a 17-hour trip. Round trip. And even when I was working as a mechanic, I used to work 70 hours a week. Went down to 65, then went down to 60. But I was always had so much to do because by the time you get home after working that many hours, you haven't done things at home. You haven't mowed the lawn. You haven't went shopping. So you're always moving. So even though I'm busy here, it still doesn't equal how busy I was in the U.S.
Or you'll have to start working again here when you have to get a little job in LP Hypermarket or something like that.
I would if it wasn't so darn hot. To be honest with you, if they could air condition a shop, I would work there.
Can you work if you've got a 12A, a 13A?
Yes, you can work.
You can work.
Yeah, the 13A. Yeah, you can.
Well, I think you might find the wages might be a bit less in the States.
It might be a little. You'd have to start your own business, which you can do too, which is interesting with 13A because my wife could own because she's got dual citizenship. She could own the business, and I could still work the business. Well, so you could do that.
That's interesting because I'm pretty sure you can't on a time. I've never looked into it, never thought of working over there. But I think, I'm sure in Thailand, you get a retirement visa, it's not going to allow you to work. I think you've got to get work permits and all that kind of thing. But I might be wrong on that. It's not something I've ever thought about. So basically, I'm guessing, sometimes people surprise me with the answers. Because if I ask you, do you think you made a mistake moving here? I think you've already said that you didn't.
No, we definitely didn't make a mistake moving here. We did explore Tagaytay. It's not for me, I don't think.
It's another island.
Yeah, Dumaguete, I haven't seen anything that beats Dumaguete yet, but I haven't been everywhere. I want to go to Bohol. I want to go to Cebu. Actually, wasn't bad traffic-wise considering the amount of traffic. Because they have street lights, which we don't have here. They have rules. 2 people to a bike. Everybody has to have their lights. It's actually fairly well organized considering how busy it is there. So I don't think traffic would be bad to get around in Cebu City. And there's a lot more stuff in Cebu City.
You don't think the traffic would be bad? Everyone I know who's lived in Cebu, in my experience, that's the worst thing about Cebu. It takes hours to get everywhere.
I think it does rush hour, but rest of the day, not really. People pretty much zoom around, between, 9 o'clock and 2 o'clock.
Really?
Yeah. And I didn't really run into traffic jams with the taxi service until after them hours when people leaving work and things like that. The traffic heading north was busy because of the earthquake, which I guess they basically shut down. There's 2 roads heading north to Bogo City. Is that the name of the Bogo City got hit? And so one's only for emergency services right now. So going to the safari that we went to took a little longer, but it still wasn't terrible. But took a little longer because they had traffic only flowing one way.
Could you see yourself moving to another city in the future then? Or you not? You don't sound to me like you're like your roots are in Duma and you're staying here. You're thinking.
The only thing I'm really concerned about with Dumaguete is you can't quite get everything medically done here that you can in Cebu City.
Right.
You know, if you have a heart attack, they're not doing a triple bypass here. You know what I mean? So you better be ahead of the game and know something's wrong with you before it happens.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they might not save you here.
Right.
You know what I mean? But for, probably for 80% of the problems, you're probably fine. But Cebu City would be better off as far as emergencies, major emergencies probably.
Yeah, no, well, I've heard that. I mean, a few people have said that, but even so, I don't think I could ever see myself living in Cebu. But that is just me. What's been the best thing about living in Dumaguete? Apart from me.
I was going to say meeting friends. A lot of. I'm going to play Texas Hold'em tonight. Got some friends there. We're meeting friends and basically building a network of people here. I'm amazed now that I go to the mall and meet somebody. I see somebody that I know,
Yeah.
which didn't happen when I first got here. I didn't know anybody, so it's a big city, but it's not that big. It's really we got 100,000 people, so it's like Albany basically in New York, about the same size.
Well, you certainly know a lot of people here. I mean, you move in a lot of circles that I move in. So you basically can never really see yourself moving back to the States then? Or am I jumping the gun there?
No, unless, again, it'd have to be a medical problem.
Right.
And I'm not even qualified for Medicare yet. So right now it'd be cheaper. The co-pays are more expensive there than it costs for the medical procedure here, which is crazy to think about. But even the co-pays for medicine in the U.S., I know you don't have this problem in your country, but in the U.S. are higher here than the actual buying the product here.
Is that right?
Yeah, which is sad, but that's the way it is.
Yeah, well, that is unfortunate. And it's a common complaint a lot of the American people I know. Yeah. So what would be any advice that you would give someone who was thinking of moving to Dumaguete?
Probably I jumped the gun a little bit on getting the villa. Because when I first got here, I was in a panic. Where am I going to stay? We're in a hotel room. And the villa has not been bad. I mean, I actually got kind of lucky with that, but I could have got burned on that too. Really bad. It's not 100% way I'd want it for the amount of money I'm spending. But also to get a place next to the ocean with a pool, it's going to cost more. But would I have probably explored more before? I probably would have, but in my mind, I was homeless. You know what I mean? But I really wasn't. You know what I mean? Because it's so cheap for a hotel here. I don't know why I was in such a rush, but I was. But
well, you were in Richmond Homes, weren't you?
Yeah, we got Richwood. We're lucky to get that. And actually, Richwood Homes is pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, they're trying to sell the homes. They will rent them out, but I think their ultimate goal is to sell them. Which is not a bad idea because even though they're not really spacious, but you can buy two next to each other. You know what I mean? You could do that. It's still under $100,000, I think. But they put an airport right near there.
We know a person who's just done that. Neil's just bought a couple of places there. The guy that went back to England.
I think the value of them homes and a lot of the homes in Bekong and Darwin are going to go up because of the airport they're putting in. So I think it's actually a good investment if you wanted to do that. I feel that's more of for my age, I'm 63. I still don't want to nail myself down to a spot yet. I want to travel some more, go to Palawan and things like that and decide where I want to live. So I'm not 100%.
See, so I was right. You haven't got your
I'm not 100% no, but I mean, it is the best. As far as I've seen so far, Dumaguete has, for what it is, there's a lot of things to see here in a very small area. And places like Siquijor and Bohol are not that far away. It's very centralized to a lot of things to see. So considering the prices here, it ain't, they don't hammer you like IT Park or anything like that. So
yeah, I'd say I'm no expert on traveling around the Philippines, but just talking to people, it does seem that Dumaguete is considerably cheaper than the majority of places where a lot of expats go to. I don't know how
Exactly.
it compares to Leyte or whatever. I don't know if Bacolod is cheaper or more expensive than Dumaguete, but certainly compared to the places I've been to, Dumaguete is pretty damn cheap. I didn't know that when I moved here. But it really is.
Well, if it wasn't for medical, there's a lot of places I'd probably live without that worry. You know, Bayawan, beautiful there in Bayawan. Sapale, I don't know exactly how you say it. Sipale or Sapale.
Both
the beach is absolutely gorgeous there.
I've never been there.
And I could see myself living there. But if something happens to you,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Yeah, well, there you go. What about your better half, shall we say, your other half, Veronica? Is how she found it compared to the States? Because I mean, obviously, she was a bit Filipino by birth, but it's not her island. What does she think of Dumaguete?
I think she's less enthused than I am, which is kind of surprising because she's from here.
Yeah.
But she misses the grandchildren, obviously, and the kids. She goes to the ball game, watch her grandson play, stuff like that. She misses doing that kind of thing, and the family she had back there. We had a lot of Philippine friends back there. She had,
yeah.
And she don't really have that big of a group of Filipinas that she knows here yet. I think she will. Before she had a car, now she don't have a car. She can't really drive a motorcycle, so that's car is the next thing on our list to do. So she's more free to do things. So I think it's something that's coming, but not quite there yet for her.
It's amazing because Ellen can't ride a bike. A couple of her friends can't ride a bike. You're saying Veronica, in Thailand, everyone can ride a bike. I've been amazed how many people here can't.
Yeah, I don't think it's whether she can ride a bike. I don't think she sees traffic like I do. And there's just as much problems going slow there is going fast here. Finding the right speed is the key. The stuff coming up behind you can be just as dangerous because people are impatient here. The buses here, they don't slow down hardly for anybody. And same with a lot of the sugarcane trucks, dump trucks, a lot of things that are people are very impatient around here. So I don't know if she'll see it coming before it happens, but I'm kind of worried about it.
A worried husband. That's very nice.
I have no problem whether she has the skill to drive the scooters, just seeing everybody beforehand. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not. I just surprised me that because I know you're saying it's because you're worried about the traffic, but everyone in Thailand, as soon as they can walk, they're on a scooter, and they can. I've never met anyone in all the time in Thailand who couldn't ride a scooter.
Right.
But here, I've met so many people. Vast majority of people don't seem to be able to swim here, and a surprising amount of people don't have never ridden a scooter.
It seems like there's in the traditional. I mean, I'm generalizing, obviously, but the men do a certain thing,
yeah,
and the women do a certain thing. I think that's kind of where that gap is, or maybe it's not quite that in other countries.
Yeah.
They're out there diving in the ocean, getting clams or whatever they're getting, so they learn from a very young age to really be good swimmers. I'm amazed some of these guys how great swimmers they are. I had the guy taking photography. I bet he was underwater for 2.5 minutes. Just doing photography of the turtles over at Po Island. I was like, is this guy ever going to come up for air?
Yeah.
It's just amazing to me, because he does it every day,
Practice makes perfect.
Mm.
Well, is there anything else you want to add to that? I mean, we've covered the any more advice you would give, or I'm not pressuring you to say anything. I'm just
right.
I'm going to end it in a minute.
I think kind of illustrated it a little bit, but just patience. Rome wasn't built in a day. You'll figure it out. And especially with the Philippine people, that they don't do anything in a hurry. I mean, it's so you gotta when you ask for something, you need something. Don't expect anybody to just come jumping up and get this instantly. It's the way it is here. We're laid back. It's actually a good training tool for yourself. I think we're wound up especially as a New Yorker. I mean, we're go all the time. Everything's on a time schedule, right? Everything's got to be this time, that time, that time. That is not happening here.
Yeah, no, it is a very laid back place. Lots of people have said before, when I did a video a while back, I asked some people what's the most important thing for life in the Philippines, and everyone says patience. And they're right, you've got to be patient.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice people, but if you're not patient, you will, yeah, I agree. Well, I'm very happy to hear that things have, well, basically panned out as you expected. And best of luck finding your Nirvana, because it seems like you're still searching, which is good. Which is good. I hope you find it.
Well, even searching and failing is still an adventure, right?
Exactly, exactly. And I hope you do all right in the poker this evening. Well, there you go. That's Tim. Thanks for sitting down, Tim. He's been here 8 months, and yeah, I just thought it'd be interesting to do a follow-up interview and see if things had exceeded his expectations or whether he was bitterly disappointed. Unfortunately, panned out how he thought it would, which is good because you sold up everything to come here.
Yeah, well, I did a lot of homework before I came over here. It wasn't like I just walked over here. Yeah. Probably about 10 years of homework. So
good. Well, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed, it would be fantastic if you did. But whether you do, whether you don't, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay safe and be lucky.